Coming up on Newscene, a cartoon in France is causing outrage. We have more coverage on this later.
And the presidential race is heating up as Election Day gets closer. Both candidates are doing what they can to get the vote.
History is being made in the air. Watch as Shuttle Endeavour takes its final flight.
Heat. What will this weekend look like? Stay tuned for weather and I'll let you know. Newscene starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Newscene. I'm Justin Watson.
And I'm Dallas Richter. Thank you for joining us.
In international news, there has been no cease in anti-American demonstrations this week. Rallies are being held outside of U.S. embassies and consulates in over 20 nations, some of which have resulted in rioting. Brian Myers has the story.
Muslim protesters are outraged over the release of the American-made video, Innocence of Muslims, that depicts the Islamic prophet Muhammad in acts that they say are insulting and blasphemous.
The world until now cannot comprehend the degree of insult this disgusting film caused to the Prophet Muhammad.
The 14-minute amateur video distributed on YouTube provoked initial unrest in Egypt and Libya on September 11th that escalated into a mob attack on a U.S. consulate in the Libyan city of Benghazi.
Individuals who were certainly well armed seized on the opportunity presented.
U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 other Americans, including 2 Navy SEALs from San Diego, were killed during the attack. In an attempt to reduce continued tension, YouTube has blocked the video in India, while other nations have restricted access to the YouTube webpage. The cast of the video report that they have been tricked by the video's producer Sam Basile, who said they were filming an action-adventure movie called Desert Warrior. Brian Myers.
Sam Basile, whose real name is Nikula Basli, is a Coptic Christian and was convicted of bank fraud in 2009. He's been living in Los Angeles until recently when he went into hiding. On Wednesday, an actress in the movie, Cindy Lee Garcia, filed a lawsuit against Basli for invasion of privacy, misappropriation of her likeness, and fraud. In the complaint, Garcia says by refusing to remove the video from the web, YouTube has caused irreparable harm to her.
French embassies and schools in 20 countries were shut down today to avoid violent protests after Muslim prayers. The French government decided to take this precaution after a magazine printed cartoons of a naked Prophet Muhammad. Publishers say the cartoon was used to poke fun at the controversial video posted on YouTube last week.
A controversial pro-Israel ad is expected to appear in 10 different subway stations in New York City next week. The ad states, quote, "In any war between the civilized man and the savage, support the civilized man." It also adds, "Support Israel, defeat jihad," in between 2 stars of David. The ad was initially rejected, but a judge ruled the Metropolitan Transportation Authority in violation of the First Amendment rights to the group seeking to place the ads. And the elections are inching closer, and political candidates are gearing up to gain votes through their campaigns. Grecia Aguilar is here to tell us how the political race is gearing up. Grecia?
Absolutely, Justin and Dallas. The competition is getting pretty intense between Romney and Obama. The video showed, this week a video was leaked that caused quite an uproar against Mitt Romney. The video showed Romney responding to a question back in May at a fundraiser in Boca Raton, Florida, where he criticized seniors, students, and the military among those who pay no taxes.
There are 47% of the people who will vote for the president no matter what. All right, there are 47% who are with him, who are...
Now, Romney says his statement was taken out of context, but he's sticking to it, saying he'll make government-assisted programs more of an issue. The GOP is counterattacking by playing old tapes from President Obama's term as senator back in 1998, where he shows support for spreading the wealth.
I actually believe in redistribution, at least at a certain level, to make sure that everybody's got a shot.
The Obama team responded by saying he no longer stands by redistribution because, quote, they tried and failed in 2008. Recent polls are showing President Barack Obama taking the lead over Republican hopeful Mitt Romney. A Wisconsin poll from Marquette Law School shows that Obama has 14% points ahead of Romney. A second poll from Wisconsin's Quinnipiac University found Obama to have a 6% point advantage. A poll coming out of Romney's home state of Michigan also shows Obama taking the lead. The poll estimates that 52% will vote for Obama. As we get closer to Election Day, candidates are really surging to get the Latino vote. Both Obama and Romney appeared separately at a forum with Univision, a Spanish language network, where they tackled immigration issues, among other hot topics. Romney softened his demeanor and reissued Latinos will work for them.
This is a campaign about the 100%. My campaign is about the 100% in America, and I'm concerned about them.
For his take on the immigration reform, Romney says he'll put in place a permanent solution, but has yet to give specifics. When confronted about not keeping his promise on immigration reform, Obama clarified his position.
I did not make a promise that I would get everything done, 100%, when I was elected as president. What I promised was that I would work every single day as hard as I can to make sure that everybody in this country, regardless of who they are, what they look like, where they come from, that they would have a fair shot at the American dream. And that promise I've kept.
Both candidates assured they will make an effort to create a permanent immigration reform. And this morning, Romney released 20 years worth of his tax information.
Wow, should be interesting to see how the public reacts to that.
Definitely.
I'll take that. 350,000 Chicago school children are back in class. The 8-day-long teachers' strike came to a halt Tuesday after union delegates voted to suspend it.
An agreement was reached with terms for a longer school year and a 17.6% pay raise for teachers over a 4-year period. Teachers return to the classroom, though they will vote on a final agreement in the coming weeks. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel called the deal an honest compromise.
That's right. Great to see students back in school. The search for a missing retired firefighter continues Tuesday. 69-year-old Charlie Dowd boarded an Amtrak train on September 12th en route to Chicago from Emeryville, California. When the train pulled into the Chicago station, Dowd was not on board, but his luggage, cell phone, and diabetes medication were. It's suspected that he may have fallen out somewhere between Fort Morgan, Colorado, and McCook, Nebraska. Rescue efforts have been persistent with teams on foot, ATV, and in the air.
A California man is accused of a gruesome murder. 49-year-old David Veens admitted to Los Angeles authorities that in October of 2009, he slow-cooked his wife, Dawn, for 4 days to get rid of the evidence. After Veens learned in February 2011 that investigators suspected he'd played a role in her disappearance, he leapt off an 80-foot cliff in Rancho Palos Verdes. From his hospital bed, he admitted to accidentally killing his wife. And on Thursday, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Rand S. Rubin rejected David Veens' request to represent himself.
2 men accused of abusing an autistic man in Valley Center faced a judge today. Matthew McDuffie and Michael Gerritsen were hired by a family to take care of 23-year-old Jamie Oakley. The family set up cameras in the house and saw the men hitting and hurting him. After reviewing thousands of recordings, authorities arrested the 2 men. Sheriffs described the abuse as one of the worst cases they've ever seen.
A civilian foreman working at Naval Base San Diego Shipyard was arrested this week. 48-year-old William Calvin Lanham is being accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars in equipment from the Navy. The 10-year civilian employee allegedly made off with wiring, welding equipment, generators, and at least 1 vehicle. The Naval Criminal Investigative Service has had their eyes on Lanham for the past year. He has a criminal history dating back to 1995.
And some good news, the price for gas at the pump in San Diego is going down. The average price for regular gasoline is a little more than $4. San Diegans are paying 1.5 cents less than a week ago, but paying more than 19 cents from a year ago. According to AAA, oil prices have been fluctuating so much that it's hard to predict where gas prices will be in the coming days.
People are lining up all around the country to get their hands on the latest gadget. We'll tell you what all the excitement is about.
And in entertainment, the music video goes viral. More on what everyone is talking about when we return.